Yeah. 500i. Business. Serious business. Serious saw business. I have this so I can do a video for you guys, for me, because like, who wouldn't want to have the holy grail of chainsaws at this current time in their videos on YouTube. I mean, yeah. So if you've had a look at my channel already, you would see that I put up a very small video of me using this saw. That was yesterday. It was flipping fantastic, cool day out. Using this saw, using the 500i, chucking it bar deep in some logs, 25-inch bar it's running, and yeah, we were doing business. It was cool. It was a big digger out there, and they were doing mechanical felling, so using a chainsaw winch to pull over the trees after the scuff and the back cut is set, and so you're leaving slightly larger hinge than normal and using the winch to pull the trees over. So it was really cool to witness, and then the big digger dragging trees up the hill and things like that. And so yeah, I watched a bit of the mechanical felling, and then came up the hill and helped the digger process some of these trees as they came up through the gate. And that's where you can see me up the top there cutting a few cookies off one of the gum trees that we're working on, so the big hardwood. So it was in hardwood. Yeah, but anyway, like, back to this 500i. Back to it. Let's talk about it. All right. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a standard chainsaw, except for it's got these cool sort of angles on it and vents and things like that going up the air filter, and it's running a Stihl light bar, 25-inch light bar. But as anything, it's like, it's not, those few details give it away. It's not normal. It's not a normal saw, and you can see even by the way it starts there. So, well, not starts, you prime it, right, about 5 times in here, and then you pull it over. There's no on-off switch, no choke, no nothing. You pull it over and it starts. It does everything itself. It chokes it, it does what, the computer works it all out, and that sorts it all out. This is your off button. That's all that does. So that turns it off, okay? Now, the next question is, really, does this saw live up to the hype? It's had a lot of hype, as you guys may know. If you're sorry, let's adjusting this. As you may know, this saw has had a lot of hype, even by me. Like, and I hadn't used it, and I was like, man, this saw sounds freaking awesome. Does it live up to that? Is the hype warranted? Yes. Plain and simply, yes. Yes, it does. And I don't say that lightly. I'm a big fan of Stihl. That would be my own bias. Stihl doesn't pay me in any way, shape or form. I don't get any money from them, nothing like that. So, will I criticise their products? Yeah, 100%. I will. Like the 019T, for example, that is not Stihl's best engineering in any way, shape or form. Poor saw. But this thing here, this is in a class of its own. This saw is like, yeah, there's all the other chainsaws, and they all got different CC ratings and different weight ratings, and they can do different things. Like the 6.6 is more torquey, for example, whereas a 362 will rev harder, sort of thing, more like a husky. Did I just say that? Shush. Didn't hear that. Right. This saw, though, stands alone. There is nothing like this at the moment, as far as I know, from any other saw manufacturer. They took this technology, this is my understanding of it, from their concrete cutting saws, and they developed it from there. And so this saw doesn't have a carb. It is fuel injected, 2-stroke. So there's no, it doesn't have a sump or anything like that. You're still putting, like this running on motor mix. So yeah, it isn't fuel injected, and it injects the fuel into the cylinder. There is no carb. Like, I'll take the back cover off. All right, she's a bit dirty. She got a bit thrashed yesterday. She's got a bit thrashed. I'll clean it out. But like, literally, there is no carb in there. There's nothing. That what I can see on the other side of there is the intake boot. It literally goes through to the intake boot. Okay, so that throttle, butterfly opening up and like that goes straight through the intake boot into the top of the cylinder. Okay, there is no carb. And I mean, most of you probably heard all about the 500i and everything like that. But this is the first time I've had my hands on it, and I've been wanting to get my hands on it and do a video on it. So yeah, top cover just comes off like that, and just have a look at this thing and see what was going on with it. Now, interesting thing, they told us not to use the decomp on these saws. They reckon they start better without them. The carby one's better with the decomp. So we weren't using the decomp, and it started just fine. We actually had 2 of these saws on site. One was brand new. This one's been flogged out a bit, but it runs awesome. But the other one was brand new, wouldn't start, and I thought only thing I could, like, I didn't get a chance to even take the top cover off like I've done here. But from what I could see, or what was going on with it, I think it had a spark issue, so I'm thinking maybe ignition module or something like that, or dud spark plug, or I don't know, something like that anyway. So yeah, this is on now. Like, if I pulled it, it would start. There's only an off button. It's always on. So yeah, just give you a look at it. Spinning it around. So it's got a bunch of fancy sort of computery bits in there that run it. And that's sort of looking spark plug in the cylinder and everything like that. So you can see it's got that direction, that cylinder orientation that all the new Stihls have of being this way, where they're this way in the saw instead of out that way. And I think that's to do with some of the air scavenging technology or something like that. Lower emissions but higher RPMs. Yeah. So that's as much as I'm probably going to take this saw apart here. It's cleaned out. It's not mine, so if it was mine, I'd start stripping it down a bit more and having a good old look at what's going on there. But it's not mine. I'm not going to take it any further than what I've done here with these covers off. Just out of respect, really. But yeah, getting back to the hype, like what I thought of this saw's performance. Does this saw perform? Yes. Oh yes. Yes, it does. I had this saw with its bar buried in a log, just about the whole thing. Like, it might have been 2 inches short, so we're talking, 23 inch circumference log, 23 inch bar fully in it, on the upcut, so cutting with the back side of the bar here, pulling it up through the wood, and I was hauling on it. So why I'm saying the upcut is because that is the hardest cut for a saw to manage through. It's more draining on it, and it's more taxing on it. And so I was leveraging up, like pulling up on this thing, pulling up, and I could not bog it down. I leant on it in down cuts. I could not bog it down. It slows, but it keeps on chugging. Like, it doesn't slow to like you're thinking, oh, it's going to stop soon. It's not like that. It keeps on going. It really wants to just keep on going. It's got those RPMs. It's got the torque to get it through. I think the maximum size bar it can take is a 28 inch and still maintain that sort of level. I've heard that if you chuck like a 36 inch on it, then like a 661 will probably beat the saw, because it starts to drop off in torque. Like it's got that high end, but not so much the big high revs, but not the big top end sort of grunt, you know what I mean? But like, it's not a weak saw in any way. I'm not trying to say it's a weak saw, because it's not. It's strong. The power is instant. You pull that trigger and it just goes boom, and it's just going full nuts from there. Just like full, just boom, and it's in there. We were thrashing this thing yesterday. Like, one of the guys was just revving it up to full and just chucking it in the wood, basically. Maybe a little bit dangerous, but he was, just to see what it would do, and it just bit and just went woof, and it wasn't slowing down. There was nothing going to stop this. And they scarfed out trees with it, back cuts, everything. It starts better in wood when you get it. Sometimes when you're doing the back cut and you've got a bit of pressure or a bit of back lean on the log, and it's sort of binding up on the saw and stops it from going. This starts better in conditions. Will start the chain moving again in conditions like that, from what I saw. Yeah, it's seriously phenomenal. Like, it's hard to describe until you've actually used it. But if you go out and use a 500i, I guarantee you won't be. There's two things I guarantee. One, you'll love it because it's freaking awesome. Two, it'll surprise you a little bit because it's so hyped up. And three, you'll be walking away going, yeah, it lives up to the hype. It is seriously something out of the box. Like, it's just, yeah, it's on another level. It's on another level. It's left Husky in the dust. I don't know what they've got planned to come back to meet something like this, or even better it. They may have something coming, I don't know. But there is no better working saw than this in the world at the moment, as far as I'm concerned anyway. That's my opinion. There's different types of saws to do different types of things, like smaller saws for limbing, climbing saws, big 6.6s or 880s for doing big work. But where this saw sits in its class, in that mid to large range saw, there is no saw better in the world than this right now. Yeah, I can't say enough about that. Like, because you think, yeah, this thing, they say it's all this, but is it all this? And it really is. It really is. I'm probably just repeating myself now because I'm just so, I guess, enamored by the by the way this has performed. And it's pretty cool. Now I'm just going to go grab something out of the rain. It's raining. sorry about that. Hazards of my little shed when it's a rainy day here in the Waikato. It's yeah, it's gotta grab some things inside. I've got a few saws sitting outside, but they'll be alright. They don't mind the rain. Had plenty of it yesterday when we were cutting. But yeah, it was a cool day out. It was awesome. So glad I got to bring this baby back and have a look at it. Just a bit more up close and personal. And yeah, how does that even go on there? See, I've never even done this before. It's not sitting down. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out that somehow. Muppetry. Full on Muppetry. Okay, maybe I'll just do that off camera. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Flip, man. Yeah. What a cool saw. I'm just ecstatic about it. Do I want to buy one? Yeah, that's a good question. Do I want to buy one? Answer would be yes. Can I afford one? No. Can I justify it? No. Simply because I have so many other saws and like my 6.6 for example, we had that running next to this yesterday, and it wasn't as zappy through the cut, that's for sure, but it was no slug either. It was probably seconds behind it, but if I had to lug around a saw all day, I'd rather be lugging around one of these than a 6.6, that's for sure. It's heaps lighter, it's basically the weight of a 4.6. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot to be impressed about really, and it was a cool day. I'm so glad I took the time off work and had a day out and got to see what Stihl had produced here, and they've produced something phenomenal, I believe, and it's going to be exciting to see what they do next. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where I don't know where or how Husky will respond, but at the moment I think they've been beaten here. This is something superior, and it's far superior. Not only to what Husky's got, but to what Stihl's got as well. Like this isn't, as I said before, it's in a class of its own. But anyway, I will stop blabbering on about this, how great this saw is, and leave it at that. The 4.6 build is still up and coming, so the next stage is putting the piston and the cylinder head on, that part of the build. We'll put the seals in as well, do all that, so that's coming. Another interesting build is I've got diagnostics to run on a MS500i. So that's the Pro Saw, the 50cc Emtronic, and so I've got one of those that I'm going to swap out a solenoid on, or maybe an ignition module or something like that, depending how it runs. And then another one that's been brought to me, and they said the conrod's stuffed in it, they can't turn it over. They're saying that it's just stuck, so they reckon the conrod's broken. And you can't really tell that until you open up a saw. I'm wondering if it's hooked a ring or something like that, which is pretty bizarre stuff. So yeah, it may, like, simple fix would be something wrong with the starter, the pull start, maybe preventing it from turning or something like that. But yeah, So, I mean, with that 261, it could be a whole build. It could be just a piston cylinder swap, or it could be strip down a part saw, strip down that saw, and make one saw. So it could be much as a bolt for bolt for an entire 261, or it could be just a piston cylinder swap. Either way, that will be interesting. It's going to be interesting to look into seeing what that happens. And I might have to do that sooner, so the 4.6 may slip into the background a little bit. And that one might take some place because it's sort of, I'm getting paid to do that one. Yeah, and paid work is good because that means I can fund more non-paid work on saws, which is cool, which is what I love to do. And that's a good thing about having a channel like this, you know, and you can build these saws, do this, and people start to find out that you do that, and so they start bringing you saws, and then you get contracts with places and things like that, and you start to get paid for what you love to do. And I was thinking about that last night, as I always thinking about chainsaws, and one thing that struck me is that it all started from my dad giving me a chainsaw in bits, an MS500i in bits, in a box, and saying, I can't do this, or I don't want this, you have a go. And I watched Donny Boys, you can look him up on YouTube, really good YouTuber, great with saws, and he had a bolt for bolt on an MS500i rebuild, and I watched that video so many times, like crazy amount of times, because I was so nervous about what I was doing. And that's where it all started. That's where it all started, and then I got to build a 6.6 and so on. You can see the progression through my videos and everything like that. And if it wasn't for that simple little saw in a box and pieces and a bit of curiosity, really, bit of Kiwi curiosity, that ingenuity, that do-it-yourself sort of thing, I would have never have stumbled onto something that I love so much. And then that grew out into a bit of artwork, and now I love climbing trees. I don't get to do it very much at all. Like, I get to play with saws more, but I don't get to do the artwork very much, which I also love. I get to do the groundwork, but I don't get to climb too much. I've only climbed one removal, and I've climbed a couple other trees aside from that. So really basic stuff, but yeah. So there's just this passion all grew. The number of chainsaws I own all grew from having an opportunity and a box of parts, and it's really cool to see just how far I've come, and I don't mean that in terms of a YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is it's nothing, it's microscopic, and I'm not charging. You don't do monetary stuff for it or anything. It's just something I like to show people, help people out, I guess, because people need somewhere to go to if they want to do what I'm doing and have a go at building something. Then it really helps to have a video of someone showing you bits and pieces, you know. So yeah, I don't know, rambling now, but yeah, it's just cool to see the growth, really, looking back, and yeah, an opportunity in a parts saw, and minimal tools, virtually nothing. But yeah, cool. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm not sure what it'll be, whether I'm going to do the 4.6 or start on this MS261, but we'll see. I might, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, Stihl for life. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See you.